pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome, everybody, to Sim Racing Media, home tonight of the Western States Racing League, live from Hickory Motor Speedway. Tonight we go heat racing. After 2 weeks ago, we were at the road course of Road America. Christian Bishop dominated that race, followed by Kyle McCartney and Jeff Schmeier. Tonight, it looks like we're looking at about 3 heats. I believe we're going to wind up with 7 cars per. Looks like 4 will advance to the feature after that. And then we'll have a couple consos. The feature will be 16 cars, 80 laps. So of the 22 in here, we're looking at 4 not making it. So Hickory Motor Speedway. Hickory Motor Speedway located in Hickory, North Carolina. And if you didn't know, it is the world's most famous short track, and also the other nickname it has is the birthplace of the NASCAR stars. It is probably the shortest track. You will see present length is only 0.36 miles. So these guys are definitely going to be scooting around here. Looks like, looking through practice times, looks like about 15-second laps at the most. As long as they can hold it together, we should be in for quite a show. Before they get started here, let's throw up the points. Looks like we've got Bentley Glazer, OGR, 344 points. Ryan Steele with 343 points. Jeff Schmeier, 341. Bob Beltrami with 331. Brian Barnes, 326. Jeff Hollinsworth, 313. Rob Gall, 296. Paul Crumry is in there with 281. Paul was in on the chat. Wish him speedy recovery from what he's going through right now. We got Ross Rollins with 268, Kyle McCartney with 252, and Christian Bishop, after winning last week, is at 245. So that is what we have so far. We've got a couple minutes left. We also have Beth Mills in the chat as usual, cheering on Schmeier. Jeff Schmeier played a little pit strategy last week, wound up coming in a little bit short, but did what he had to do to try and catch the lightning bolt that was Christian Bishop. And as we look through here, yeah, Hickory, not Hickory. Thanks, Beth. Anyway, yeah, if you're in the chat, definitely subscribe, turn on bell notifications, and we will definitely get this party that is short track racing started here shortly. So they will qualify and set the grid. See who's going to get out on track. We got Ryan Steele making his way around. Already almost around his first lap here. uh, 15:04, but Wayne Hutchinson right behind him with the 14:76. David Weaver with the 14:93. William Fletcher with the 15:26. Angelo Espo is completing his first lap here, and he will get a 15:06. Right now, Wayne Hutchinson is 14:69. Ryan Steele 14:74. Fred Williams just threw down a 14:80. David Weaver with a 14:93. Earl Weaver, 15:39. Brian Barnes jumps up with a 14:90. Like I said, these guys are going to be pretty close here. Kyle McCartney in the 18 Toyota. Going to complete his first lap. And that shoots him clear at pole position with the 14:62 in that snap-on truck. Ryan McClure with a 14:94. Keith Kellman finishing up his first one. 15:96. James Dewar. Just getting started here. Got that 55W energy drink. Energy board. 1565. $14.82 for Dennis Fusen. They are definitely all working it pretty good here. Looks like almost everybody is pretty close to that 15-second mark. Charles Woods just getting started. Lap 1, 14.92. Like he's the only one on track right at the moment. Like we still have Troy Campbell, Jeff Schmeier, Marcus Cunningham, Jeff Hollinsworth, Bentley Glazer, and Carl Burke to throw down a qualifying lap. But I don't know that we're gonna see that. See if they're gonna get going here. Oh, Jeff Hollinsworth. Like he's jumping out on track. Just now coming to the start-finish line. $15.41. Troy Campbell's out there as well now. Rolling it slow through the corner there. 15:53. Jeff Hollinsworth just finished his second lap. 15:23, so improved a little bit. Troy Campbell finishing up here as well. Like he will go a little bit faster at 15:16. So now it looks like we got Schmeier, Cunningham, Glazer, and Burke all sitting on the sidelines at the moment. Like Glazer is getting on track here. Glazer goes about mid-pack, 14.79. And he will call it good right there. So it looks like we got Meyer, Cunningham, and Burke. Jeff Schmeier just jumped out on track. Take a look here at what he's doing. He jumps up to P9 right now with a 14.90, and he will call it good. It looks like there's just 2 left now. Bring up the race info, but it's not going to show you too much here. 77 degrees outside. Track temp's a little warm. At 81 degrees. Got about a minute and a half left, so see if anybody else decides to take a qualifying lap. And after this week, Western States Racing League will head to Watkins Glen and go back road racing. Then it'll be Atlanta and Nashville Super Speedway. Well, like I said, we're going to probably have 3 heats. At least that's what it was set up for when they first got this. So we'll see if how they break this down. Looks like there's 22 cars in the server at the moment. So we will see. So we will get this first grid here. And we've got Kyle McCartney, Bob Beltrami on the first row. Bentley Glazer and Fred Williams in row 2. Jeff Schmeier and David Weaver in row 3. Row 4 is Julian Ricci and William Fletcher. Row 5 is Troy Campbell and Jeff Hollinsworth. And it looks like Marcus Cunningham must not be in the server anymore. So that is the way they will start. So we will see how this all works out here. So we have Kyle McCartney, Bob Beltrami. We will see how this all works out when this pace truck jumps down to pit road. Pace truck is in. Kyle McCartney with the button, and he is down and away. Out to almost a second lead right off the bat, and we have a massive pileup behind him. We will look here. Bob Beltrami off the wall into Bentley Glazer. Spins him around. And it looks like that will collect almost the entire field here. Definitely not the start they wanted to have to this race. as we get back here, go ahead and throw this up here. Yeah, definitely, Greg. Looked like everybody got a little piece of that one. So they will get set back up here. It'll be, looks like Kyle McCartney, Troy Campbell on the front row. David Weaver, Jeff Hollinsworth in row 2. Julian Ricci and William Fletcher, row 3. Bentley Glazer, Bob Beltrami, row 4. Fred Williams and Jeff Schmeier in row 5. When Hickory first opened up in 1951, it was a half-mile dirt track. It did hold later champions as Junior Johnson, Ned Jarrett, and Ralph Earnhardt. Oh, and we're back green already. Didn't waste no time there. And Kyle McCartney is out front with the 1497 and pulling away ever so slightly from Troy Campbell. Jeff Hollinsworth back there as well. David Wee, William Fletcher, Bentley Glazer. And we're back under caution. See what happened here. Looks like Fred Williams. Fred Williams riding along there. Oh, gets on the brakes a little bit too hard, spins that back end right around. Dang. So Kyle McCartney will get to restart again. Any real point for heat racing? Basically get a few guys to the feature, and then you'll have a couple consos because we had, looks like 22 drivers. 3 or 4 of them won't make the main. The lights are still on the pace car at the moment. See how fast they turn off and get set to go. Looks like we're not going to be doing any side-by-side racing. Like we had a couple crashes towards the back of the pack here. Lights probably... Lights are still on. So we got 8 laps to go in this heat. Like, lights are out on the pace truck. They're gonna try and do a double file restart. We'll see how this works here shortly. Pace truck should be jumping down to the inside, and we will be back to racing. Pace truck down to the inside. Kyle McCartney does have the button, and it is green, and he is off and away. Out to about 3/4 of a second lead. Jeff Hollinsworth makes good on the inside, but we had quite the pile up back there. But it looks like everybody's straightened out and is able to stay green for now. We got Bentley Glazer, one of the Julian Ricci. Looks like he was probably sideways there. And then we got William Fletcher, Bob Beltrami. Bob Beltrami making his way back up through the field. after having that early damage as the 16 goes around of David Weaver. And Fred Williams hits the pits as well. So looks like we'll see how this is going to shape up here. It looks like everybody is having a little bit of issues with the tires. Maybe the brake bias a little bit. I've seen them slide around a few corners here. And it looks like this is going to be a green-white checker from what it looks like. Ooh, it's just Schmeier working to get his lap back, it looked like. Oh yeah, looks like green-white checker. So hopefully we can make it through this race and get the green-white checker golden here. We got Kyle McCartney. Jeff Hollinsworth has made his way up through the field, up 8 positions, currently sitting P2. Troy Campbell's up 6. Ricci and Fletcher are each up 2 apiece. We'll see if we can stack them up here and get ready to go. Greg, it looks like 16 are going to start in the main. So it'll be like 3 or 4, probably 4 that won't make it. I think a couple were in the server but didn't make it qualifying or anything. So I don't know if they got dropped or what happened. But yeah, it looks like we'll have 16 start the main. The main is 80 laps. So we'll see how that goes. As they stack them up here again, Kyle McCartney has the button on the inside of Jeff Hollinsworth, gets a good run. Hollinsworth is almost able to clear Troy Campbell there. Bentley Glazer's making his way up a little bit. Fletcher got a good run. Ricci's on the inside with Beltrami right behind, trying to make their way back up through the field. But right now, the top 4 are McCartney, Hollinsworth, Campbell, and Glazer. So they will make it to the feature. Everybody else will have to come back for the console. So we'll throw up this grid here. Looks like we got Wayne Hutchinson starting pole on heat 2. Ryan Steele just to his outside. Chris Woods and Dennis Fusion in row 2. Brian Barnes, Richard McClure in row 3. James Durer and Angelo Espo in row 4. Keith Kelman and Earl Weaver in row 5. And it looks like Carl Burke is not going to make a start tonight. So here we go. Heat number 2. Wayne Hutchinson will have the button. Ryan Steele just to his outside. We'll see if these guys can make it through here. And who's going to make it to the main. Looks like lights are out on that pace truck. So it should be diving to the inside any moment, and it does. Wayne Hutchinson is on the inside with the button, and he is down and away. Looks like Ryan Steele got pushed in the back bumper from Dennis Fusion. Everybody goes around. And we are under caution. So here we go on the start. Dennis gets a huge run, hits that quarter panel, turns him right in front of Charles Woods there. Woods luckily able to slow down, move around him. Looks like everybody else relatively unscathed. Just a quick little couple car incident there. Of course. Here we go. So, 18 laps to go. Yeah, that definitely could have been a lot worse. Luckily, everybody were able to get on their brakes and not pile it up too bad. So we got Wayne Hutchinson and Charles Woods now. Single file restart. Hutchinson is down and away. Charles Woods right behind him. Dennis Fusion and Brian Barnes. Brian Barnes looking to go up about a row and a half. Like he might be able to get a little bit of a run here. And Wayne Hutchinson out to a lead. Charles Woods in second. Dennis Fusion and Brian Barnes. Brian Barnes keeps looking to that outside. Just doesn't think he has enough as Charles Wood and Wade Hutchinson are battling for the lead right now. Woods on the inside is able to make that work and make that pass as we're under a yellow flag again. Looks like maybe somebody was jumping into pits there and caused that. See what happens here. Charles Woods was able to make that pass on Wayne Hutchinson. So he will be the leader now. Dennis and Brian are sitting in the transfer spots. Angelo Espo and Ryan Steele want to get there. Ryan Steele did start on the outside of row one. Trying to make his way back up there. as they stack him up here again. Wayne Hutchinson this time to the outside of Charles Woods. Dennis Fusion and Brian Barnes. Row 2, Angelo Espo, Ryan Steele right behind them. As we come into the start-finish line, Charles Woods gets a good jump. Wayne Hutchinson right to his outside. But behind them, they are side-by-side battling here. And Brian Barnes takes that outside lane, and he is working on the outside of Wayne Hutchinson, trying to get position 2. Ryan Steele is working the outside of Dennis Fusion here, and Wayne Hutchinson is just trying to hold on to that transfer spot. Ryan Steele doing everything he can to make that work. We are down to 3 laps to go. Oh, and we are under caution as Charles Woods lost it. Oh, gets a little help from Brian Barnes. Brian Barnes into the back of him. Wayne Hutchinson into the back of Brian Barnes. Everybody else able to check up. So we will go back to green-white checker. So Brian Barnes will now lead the race. Wayne Hutchinson will start on his outside. Ryan Steele is back up in this transfer position. So here we go. Pace car jumps in. Brian Barnes is down and away. Wayne Hutchinson gets a good jump that time and is able to clear Ryan Steele. Clears the 11. They are side by side behind them. Richard McClure, James Dorr trying to make a move on each other to get to that 11. But they're racing each other so hard, I don't know that they're going to be able to do that. Brian Barnes, Wayne Hutchinson, Ryan Steele, and Dennis Fusion all make it through the race and transfer to the main. See if I can get this to start behaving. So this one here. So it looks like this is a B main. So we got the grid. We got William Fletcher, Jillian Ricci, Bob Beltrami, Dave Weaver, Fred Williams, Jeff Schmeier, and Marcus Cunningham did not make the trip. These are 40 laps. So hopefully they will be full of fun and excitement. Pace truck should be dropping off this next time by. Yeah, definitely, Greg, if this was real life, definitely want to save on those repair costs. Single file restarts would be the order of the day. I mean, we are looking at 40 laps here as Pace truck jumps in. Fletcher on the button, and he gets a good run. Bob Beltrami's right on his back bumper. Ricci to the outside. Ricci's still there, trying to get down. Just not enough room there. Bob Beltrami is working that inside line. Beltrami and the Beltrami Salami. Toyota. William Fletcher. Abilene Ford out front. We do have 40 laps. So looks like they're showing each other quite a bit of patience as Fletcher gets loose and goes wide. Bob Beltrami takes advantage, jumps down to the inside, able to make that pass. Ricci's going to follow Beltrami through, and they are side by side, Fletcher and Ricci. Ricci's able to make that pass now. But it looks like Schmeier is trying to work that back bumper of Fletcher there. Beltrami just went a 14.87. The next fastest lap is a 14.92 of Jeff Schmeier. So as these guys are working through these laps here, we will go ahead and see if we can maybe do a little bit of turn it up section here. I will be right back. All right, welcome back, everybody. Once again, this is the Western States Racing League live from Hickory Motor Speedway. This is round number 10. We are in the middle of one of the consos, looking to see who can make it to the main. Already had several drivers already qualify for that. So it looks like as long as you don't finish in the bottom couple, you should be good to go. Bob Beltrami here is out to 2.5 second lead. Julian Ricci and Jeff Schmeier are battling it out back here for between second and third. William Fletcher started on the pole, but is now currently sitting 4th. David Weaver in 5th, and Fred Williams, like he's in pit. So right now, closest battle on track is with Ricci and Schmeier. Schmeier tries to go to the outside, tries to get a little bit of a run there, but winds up following Ricci right around. Schmeier looks like he gets a... Oh, there he goes. He gets a nice run on the outside, gets to a rear quarter panel, but not quite, can't get there. Schmeier is close to getting to Ricci, but every time he gets just to the outside of that rear quarter panel, Ricci finds another gear and pulls away, where Schmeier has to slow down to keep himself in the corner. These corners are 14-degree banking basically all the way around the track. But we've seen the fastest way around the track being going almost to that outside wall and then diving it in to kind of oval the track a little bit. And if you're in that lane, the outside is just hard to get a run. Meyer is trying to make it work, though, as Fred Williams is coming out of the pits just in front of these two. So it looks like he might play a little bit of role here, as they have to slow down to not get into the back bumper. Well, that is David Weaver. But as these two are battling it out back here, Bob Beltrami is out to 2.5 second lead. Ricci and Schmeier been going at it for most of these 40 laps. Schmeier almost gets a run there on the inside, but just can't quite make the pass. Ricci was able to fight back on that outside. Schmeier is now like 3/10 back. But anyway, as I was talking about Hickory's history, Ralph Earnhardt won 5 of the Hickory track champions in the 1950s. But Hickory's involvement in even in the Busch Series and NASCAR kind of slowly went away. 1998 was one of the last times that it hosted a Busch Series race, after the Busch Series went to more of a NASCAR Cup schedule. Man, these guys just will not let each other go. They are battling it out here. Beltrami's out to almost a 4-second lead now. Beltrami's coming up on the back of, looks like Fred Williams there from Mid-South. Why don't we go ahead and maybe take a ride here with Bob Beltrami. You can see they're not really on the throttle a whole lot. You can see him basically off the throttle, on it for a little bit, gets up to almost 97, 98 miles an hour, and then drops back down to 60 to make the corner. Tries to get up there again. Not shifting or anything, staying in 4th gear, kind of rolling through the corners. And we are down to 3 laps to go. Go back here and take a look at Ricci and Schmeier. Looks like they have settled it down now. Fletcher. Oh, Fletcher gets a little loose there, able to save it. He's in no real danger of losing any positions at the moment, as Weaver and Williams are laps down. But Bob Beltrami will win this race. Ricci will be second, Meyer third, Fletcher fourth, Weaver and Williams. So we will get set for another console. Lap up the grid this time. You guys get to their trucks. James Dewar and Earl Weaver in row 1, Charles Woods, Keith Kellman in row 2, Angelo Espo and Richard McClure in row 3. Carl Burke is not running today. So as we get this going here, we will see who all can make it to the feature. Lights should be out on the pace truck this time by. They are stacked up, ready to go. Here they come down the back stretch. Makes that corner. Pace truck is in. James Dort is away, but Earl Weaver is right with him. And Charles Woods trying to make up for lost time there. Keith Kellman and goes around there, and we are under yellow. Like he just got loose, couldn't hang on to it, and away it went. Get this load. Of course not. There it goes. All right, so we are on lap 5 of 40 in this B main. James Dewar, Earl Weaver, Charles Woods, Richard McClure, Angelo Espo are the top 5. Keith Kellman got loose and lost the back end of his truck, and they will be good to go this time by. It looks like they are going to be single file. .55 Ford is down and away. Earl Weaver cuts that corner. Charles Woods right behind him. Richard McClure and Angelo Espo round out the field. Looks like Woods is looking to see if he can work his way back up into the feature event here. He was running really well and just got a little bump in a spot you don't want one. So he had to, he went for a spin and has to work his way back up into the main. He's just to the inside of Earl Weaver, almost getting his nose to that left rear quarter panel, but not quite able to. We'll see if he will be able to make that pass or if he'll be just content. It looks like at least half the field's going to make it to the main. But it will determine your starting position in that main. So as we're about halfway through here, we'll go ahead and go to another turn it up session because sounds like fun. All right, we are back here. Didn't miss a thing as we were just doing a little alternate up session. This is the Western States Racing League, round number 10 from Hickory Motor Speedway. .55 Ford of James Dewar is out to a almost 4-second lead here. Earl Weaver and Charles Woods are battling just about like we saw in the last console. These guys were second and third were battling it out, and then they kind of settled down and just kind of went through the motions to the end. Earl Weaver and Charles Woods. Charles Woods gets a good run that time and looks like he will take the position. Charles Woods just kind of waited patiently back there. Earl Weaver made a little bit of a mistake, and Woods pounced. So we got about 12 laps to go. None of the transfer positions, I don't think, are really in a battle here. As now Charles Woods is able to gap Earl Weaver. Richard McClure and Angelo Espo are about a second and a half apart. So it looks like we might just be going through the motions here to get to the end with 10 laps to go. That W55 Ford has been set on autopilot for this race here. Charles Woods, 3.5 back. 2.5 back to Earl Weaver. 3.5 back to Richard McClure, Angelo Espo. And then Keith Kelman is a couple laps down, it looks like. So James Dorr is going to work his way through the field. We'll have about 5 laps to go. He will have like 3 laps this time by James Dorr, Charles Woods, Earl Weaver, Richard McClure, and Angelo Espo, and Keith Kelman. Completing lap 38. Coming to the start-finish line. James Dorr wins. Charles Woods second. Earl Weaver is going to coast home in third, followed by Richard McClure and Angelo Espo. So now we will get set for the feature. Feature race is 16 drivers. If I can get try and show grid. So we got Kyle McCartney, Brian Barnes in row 1, Jeff Hollinsworth, Wayne Hutchinson, row 2, row 3, Troy Campbell, Ryan Steele, row 4, Bentley Glazer, Dennis Fusion, row 5, Bob Beltrami and James Dewar. Julian Ricci and Charles Woods in row 6. Row 7 is Jeff Schmeier and Earl Weaver. And row 8 is William Fletcher and Richard McClure. So definitely looks like we got a field of racers here. We will see how this boils down. We got 80 laps, 16 drivers. Greg, I'd hope it'd be under, but I don't know that I'd take that bet. Kyle McCartney will have the button. Brian Barnes to his outside. Ace truck is jumping to the inside. Kyle McCartney is down and away. Gets a nice little jump. Brian Barnes sticking to his outside as Wayne Hutchinson goes around. And we are under caution. So that is what we've seen happen several times. Get a little early on the gas and around you go. So we will see. We might be going single file maybe. So we got Kyle McCartney, Brian Barnes, Jeff Hollinsworth, Troy Campbell, Bentley Glazer, Ryan Steele, Bob Beltrami, Dennis Fusen, James Dewar, and Jillian Ricci round out the top 10. So we will see how this goes here. Looks like we are single file restarts. Kyle McCartney will have the button. His truck should pull off this time by. His truck is in, and we are back racing. Kyle McCartney gets a good jump. Brian Barnes doesn't let him get too far ahead, but is able to pull a little bit of gap on third and fourth between Hollinsworth and Troy Campbell. Bentley Glazer rounds out the top 5 here. Kyle McCartney and Brian Barnes up front. McCartney gets about a half-second lead. Pretty close battle back here between Campbell and Hollinsworth. And if we go back even further, we got that W Energy and Podium trucks battling out. And then we got Jeff Schmeier, Charles Woods, Richard McClure. Wayne Hutchinson is back here in 14th position after that little bit of an incident there. And Earl Weaver is in 15th. Looks like William Fletcher did not take the green. We got McCartney and Barnes up front. as these guys are spreading out. Like they got plenty of time to work through the field. See, Troy Campbell looks like he's got a little damage to that right side of his truck. Looks like Bob Beltrami might be looking to pass Ryan Steele here if he can get that run he had coming into the corner. He keeps diving down in there, but he winds up floating a little wide. Troy Campbell and Ryan Steele. Ryan Steele just gives him a little bit of a bump, and around he goes. So you can see Ryan Steele looks like almost gets a bump from Beltrami. Steele has a run. Gets to the rear quarter panel. Floats up just a little bit here. And it looks like just not enough room as they both try and turn the same way and make the same space. Ryan still was able to keep it going straight. Bob Beltrami did avoid Troy Campbell there. So lap 16. Couple of cautions. Be a quarter of the way through this race before we go back green. Like we might be a couple more laps maybe. What's going on? Like Troy Campbell is working his way towards the back of the field here. Lights are out on the pace truck. Double file restart. Kyle McCartney does have the button. Brian Barnes just to his outside as the pace truck drives away. Kyle McCartney is off and away, gets a good jump. Jeff Hollinsworth is trying to stay with him. Brian Barnes just to his outside. Gets to the right rear quarter panel. Kyle McCartney battles back. And Brian Barnes has to look out for Jeff Hollinsworth. Jeff Hollinsworth was right to his inside, almost stuck his nose just inside of that the rear quarter panel, but not quite able to get there. Bentley Glazer's up 3 positions right now, sitting in 4th. As we are under caution once again. See what happened back here. Bob Beltrami off the wall and like just doored by James Dorr. Like he just drifted up a little bit and went right into the side. So if you guys are in the YouTube chat, definitely hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications. We do this 7 days a week most of the time. and you don't want to miss a show. We do multiple shows a day. Like today, we've had 4. Tomorrow we'll have the Ghost Xfinity series. Thursday is, oh, and Wednesday we also have Thunderclap. Thunderclap and Ghost Xfinity. And Thursday we've got Fuel. And we also have Swedish iRacing if you want to catch them. They're in the afternoon. Then we have Sim Racers Edge also Thursday evening. Friday we got Circle B Diecast Super Speedway Series, as well as the Monsters of Speed New Gen Cup Series. So definitely check us out. Never miss a show as long as you subscribe and turn on that bell notification. We are stacked up again. Looks like we'll be getting the green next time by. So row 1 is Kyle McCartney and Brian Barnes. Not much change there. Jeff Hollingsworth sitting in P3 on the inside. Bentley Glazer just to his outside. Then we have Ryan Steele and Dennis Fusion in row 3. Row 4, James Dewar and Julian Ricci. Row 5, Charles Woods and Jeff Schmeier. Pace truck is in. Kyle has the button in that 18 Snap-on Toyota, and he is down and away. It's a huge jump that time, and Barnes and Hollingsworth are side by side through 1 and 2. Barnes is able to make the high line work and does clear Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth is battling back though. Glazer now has his hands full with Ryan Steele just to his inside. But he gets a run on that high line and is able to stay out of trouble for the time being. But Ryan Steele is just quicker on that bottom line as he almost drifts up into Bentley Glazer there. Dennis Fusion behind them. Julian Ricci in the podium, number 1. Charles Woods in the Purple Heart Homes. James Dewar in the W Energy. Wayne Hutchinson about on his way back inside the top 10 after the early caution. Jeff Schmeier currently up 2 positions to P11. We got quite a battle back here between McClure and Weaver. Bob Beltrami, I think he's a lap down at the moment. So up front, after 33 laps, Kyle McCartney, Brian Barnes, and Jeff Hollingsworth. 1, 2, 3, just the way they started this main here. As you see the 41 of Troy Campbell come back on track. Brian Barnes and Jeff Hollingsworth are working side by side. Hollingsworth gets a little bit of a run there, and they are side by side. Looks like they float up just a little bit, but Hollingsworth is able to pull ahead. Barnes is trying to fight back on that outside line, because if he doesn't, Ryan Steele is looking to pass him as well. Hollingsworth makes the pass. Steele just to his inside. And Barnes is going backwards, stuck on that high line. Bentley Glazer's also to his inside now. Barnes into the wall. Glazer takes advantage. Fusion in that 11. Oh, and we are under caution. Don't know what brought out caution. Let's take a look here, see if we can see what happened here. Oh, single spin right in the corner. So it looks like quite a few people are electing to pit. but there's a few drivers that are not. Kyle McCartney, Ryan Steele, Dennis Fusion, Wayne Hutchinson, and Richard McClure all did not pit that time. Richard McClure and Jeff Schmeier both hit the pits this time. So that leaves Kyle McCartney and Ryan Steele up front with Hutchinson behind them. Looks like the 11 of Dennis Fusion is still out as well with that Tito's vodka. Wayne Hutchinson in the 17 Toyota. Looks like we're about ready to go green again as they are stacked back up. We got Kyle McCartney and Ryan Steele. McCartney has the button again, and he is away. Steele stays with him. If you're on that outside lane, though, you have to wonder how long you're going to sit there and battle before you just fall in line and try and get a gap on that second group, as he is now under attack from all the guys on this low line here. The 11, the 4, the 97 all staying down low. Wayne Hutchinson stuck up high. Bentley Glazer's going to go to his inside and try and make the pass. Glazer, Hutchinson side by side. Barnes is also stuck on the outside now, as he was trying to make a pass on Steele, but he got floated back there. And now both of them, Glazer and Barnes, goes way wide as we are under caution yet again. See what happened back here. No, just floats up just a little bit and catches him. Doesn't take much when you're at one of these tracks. So we are under caution again. We are through 50 laps when they go ahead and take the green here. Lights are still on the pace truck. Looks like we'll have one more to go. So Greg, who do you think's going to win, since you're in the YouTube chat here? I know Beth was rooting for Meyer there. Lights are still on the pace track, but they are getting double filed here. Looks like we'll have another lap real quick. Lights are out on the pace truck. Leading lap 51 this time by. We are green, and Kyle McCartney is money on these restarts. And we're under caution again. Back and take a look here. Like a little bit of, whoa, oh, old tires, floored it, and around he went. Oh, not old tires, fresher tires. He pitted on lap 38. So we will have to see if it is required to pit or not, because we have 3 drivers that have not pitted yet. So as we go through that, I'm going to go ahead and step aside. I will be back in one momento. Once again, this is Sim Racing Media on YouTube. Hit that subscribe, turn on bell notifications. I'll be back shortly. All right, we are back to green flag racing. Kyle McCartney gets a huge jump. Ryan Steele right behind him. Dennis Fusion right behind that. Barnes and Glazer are looking to improve. Hollinsworth got floated back a little ways there. Glazer keeps looking to the inside of Barnes, but nothing doing at the moment. Get back and take a look back at some of these other trucks. Hutchinson trying to make the pass on the inside of Duer there. Toyota and W Energy. And you got Jeff Schmeier trying to pass as well. Bob Beltrami has been fast most of the night, but he got wicked loose right there. Able to save it, and we stay green. Schmeier makes the pass and is looking for a little bit more just in front of them, though. We've got Glazer looking to move up. Hollinsworth as well. And that 11 truck is going backwards. It's a nice little bump from the one as gets moving. But up front, it is still Kyle McCartney. And we're under caution again as the pickup truck just jumps the curb. We'll go back and take a look here. See what happens. Nope, just starts spinning. Put on the brakes and around he goes. So, completed lap 65 this time by. So I believe when we're gonna get the or go back to green flag race, and we will have probably 13 laps left, maybe 12. Kyle McCartney has not looked back this whole race. From winning his heat from the pole, dominating this, has not had much of a problem here at Hickory. So they will stack them back up side by side. We will have 12 to go when we get the green flag. Kyle McCartney, Ryan Steele, row 1. Brian Barnes, Bentley Glazer, row 2. These have been the faster trucks most of the night, so they should be coming out of 4. Pace truck should dive in now. Kyle McCartney has the button, and he is down and away. Ryan Steele stays right with him, but he is stuck to that outside. Kyle McCartney pulls away. Ryan Steele and Brian Barnes are now side by side. Bentley Glazer is riding that high line almost to the wall. Jeff Hollingsworth makes the pass as Glazer was up high. But Ryan Steele started on the outside of row 1 and can't get down, so he is stuck there. Looks like he's going to go backwards at least 1, maybe 2 positions as Jeff Hollingsworth is looking to his inside. We are down to 10 laps to go. 9. And we are under caution again. Gets going, starts to slide, slows down, then gets a nice bump from the 55 to spin him around. Oh, I still think we're under 10 cautions, Greg. So Kyle McCartney will lead us to green once again. This time Brian Barnes will be stuck to his outside, but Jeff Hollingsworth will be on the inside. Jeff's been making his way back up through the field and is back to where he started. We got Kyle McCartney, Brian Barnes, and Jeff Hollingsworth started 1, 2, 3 in this main and are sitting that way as we race. Ryan Steele up 2 positions. Bentley Glazer up 2 as well. Julian Ricci is up 5 and is the biggest mover of the night. But back up front, Ryan Steele will see if he can make that outside in row 2 work. Kyle McCartney will lead us to green once again. We will have 4 laps to go. Kyle McCartney is down and away. Brian Barnes tries to stay with him, can't quite clear Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth does not quite have the run he needed to keep Barnes out of there. Barnes drops down in behind McCartney. Hollingsworth stays down as well. Glazer's working that bottom line. Ryan Steele gets in there. So we'll see if Brian Barnes is able to do anything for Kyle McCartney. White flag in the air. Kyle McCartney has one more corner to make. Brian Barnes. Jeff Hollinsworth bumps him out of the way, but does not make the pass. Tried to do something there, just didn't have enough to do it. But raced relatively clean and awesome race for these guys on this short track and heat racing. Kyle McCartney wins round number 10 at Hickory Motor Speedway, America's most famous short track. As he's sitting here burning it down, we will wait for these guys to jump in and we will see about having a chat with them. If we can get Kyle McCartney or Brian Barnes or Jeff Hollinsworth to join us here momentarily. We'll go ahead and see if we can get third place finisher here. Hey Jeff, Mike up in the booth, got a copy?
Hey Mike, how you doing, brother?
Oh, not too bad. Watched several heat races and consos and stuff. You were able to start the main in position 3, brought home a P3 finish as well. What do you think of the short track racing at Hickory?
Oh, I thought it was a blast. It's kind of unnerving, you know, having to race your way in. I couldn't muster up a good qualifying lap, so I started, you know, kind of cruddy. So anyways, raced my way in and had a good finish, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was pretty entertaining to watch. I mean, you're talking less than 15-second laps most of the time, and I mean, other than a few tire issues, it really was a clean race.
Yeah, we had, you know, it's short tracking, so you're gonna have different braking points and whatnot, and people hitting each other a little bit. But most of these guys, we've been racing together a lot, and there's a lot of respect out there, and I think it ended up good. You know.
Yeah, definitely. Anybody you want to thank on that truck tonight?
I got a few. First off, my whole team, all of us made the race except Fast Freddy. So that'd be James and Troy and Charlie Woods, Bentley, myself, and let's see, I'm not miss anybody. Anyways, and definitely want to throw a shout out to Purple Heart Homes. They're an associate sponsor on here, and a good friend of ours is a employed by them. Anyways, thanks for Bob for the, you know, always doing a great job with this league. It's been going strong for years. We love racing here, and definitely you in the booth. Can't wait to watch the broadcast. Shout out to my family. God bless America.
All right, I will let you go celebrate your P3 finish, and maybe I'll talk to you next week at the Glen.
Probably not. Thanks, Mike. Have a good one.
You too. All right, let's see if we can get you two. Hey, Brian, this is Mike up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, congrats on a P2 finish. Raced your way through the heat and made it to the feature right after that. What do you think about short track racing here at Hickory?
It was a blast. I'm glad we mixed up our tradition a little bit and did some heat race short track, and so that was a blast.
Yeah, it was pretty fun to watch. I mean, other than a couple little hiccups here and there, but you guys raced pretty well. Basically had 2 wide action for quite a few laps. Was it hard to pass on that outside lane?
It really was. I mean, you had to you had to trust the guy that you were trying to get around and and hope he was going to, respect the lane. So it was tough, but that's short track racing. It was really a lot of fun. Got
Awesome.
to apologize to Charles for taking him out in the heat race. It made him have to work a little harder to get into the main.
Yeah, definitely. He brought home a P11 finish, but definitely. Anybody else you want to thank on that truck tonight?
No, got to thank Rancho Baja Norte for all their help, and other than that, to you guys for putting this on. I appreciate that.
Anytime. All right, I will let you go celebrate your P2 finish, and maybe I'll talk to you next week.
All right, thanks, bud.
Yep. Hey, Kyle, Mike up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Mike, how's it going, man?
All not too bad. Looks like you love this short track racing here at Hickory. You got basically qualified on the pole, ran every lap of your heat on the lead. Did the same thing here.
Yeah, I know Bentley had a pretty good practice time, so I was a little nervous. And short track racing, it's all about where you start at, and it's better to have all the carnage behind you instead of front of you. So qualifying on the pole tonight was great, and it really probably was the only reason I ended up winning tonight, because I think Jeff and Brian, and even Bentley were probably a little quicker than I, but I was able to just get the restart every time while they had to battle through traffic.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like you had that inside lane, so you could get that jump on them, and then they had to kind of battle their way to get down to the inside, and then by the time they did that, you were out to a decent lead.
Yeah, it was all about trying, when you did get the jump, to try and make sure that the second and third place car were side by side for a lap, and if you could, then you could open up some gap there, and so that definitely worked out. But I'll tell you this, I was not going to hop off the bottom. They were going to have to drive through me to get the win tonight.
Yeah, it definitely looked like you had that that truck lined up right on that line and was able to take it to the victory.
Yeah, it got a little nervous when they all came down and pitted. I didn't think anybody was going to, especially a whole group of them, come down and grab tires. So I was a little worried there at the end when we got that last caution, but I think it was Brian and Jeff started battling it out and gave me a chance to pull away a little bit. So that made me feel a little bit better at the end.
Yeah, definitely. Well, congrats on the win. Anybody you want to thank on that truck tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to my mom and my brother Corey. They watch in every week with you guys here on the broadcast, and you guys do an excellent job every week. Shout out to Bob for running the WSRL league. They do he does a great job every season, and we get a lot of fun races, including tonight. And got to give a shout out to Toyota and Snap-on. And yeah, it was a good night, man.
Awesome. Well, maybe I will talk to you next week at the Glen.
Oh, for sure. Hopefully we'll be on the podium. I don't know if we'll get the win, but hopefully we'll be right up there contending for it.
Awesome. Well, I'll let you go.
Catch you later.
Yep. That was the winner, Kyle McCartney. We'll go ahead and take a look here through the finish, if it will be brought up here. All right, here we go. We got Kyle McCartney, Brian Barnes, Jeff Hollinsworth, 1, 2, 3. They started 1, 2, 3. Then we got Bentley Glazer, Ryan Steele, Dennis Fusion, Julian Ricci. Jeff Schmeier was up 5, our biggest mover to finish P8. Wayne Hutchinson in 9th. Bob Beltrami rounds out the top 10. Charles Woods, Earl Weaver, Richard McClure, James Dewar, Troy Campbell, and William Fletcher. And that is that tonight from the short track of Hickory Motor Speedway. We go to road racing at Watkins Glen next week. We saw him race on the road a couple weeks ago and look forward to that. Once again, if you're in the YouTube stream, definitely subscribe, turn on bell notifications so you get all the action you could hope for. And I will see you next week at the Glen. Till next time, good night.